Hey, hey, it's almost Free Comic Book Day, and as always, it's a very exciting time in the comic book world and especially in the comic book community. Free Comic Book Day is a great time to get people that don't normally read comics reading comics because there's free, there's no invest in, and also a great time to get people that don't normally go into your LCS to go into your LCS. So get recruiting, Free Comic Book Day. Hype, very exciting. This year, as always, we're going to get a couple big books, specifically Marvel and DC, which always seem to shadow their summer event to lead into what's to come. Last year we got the Night Terrors 1 preview from DC, and we got the Summer of Symbiotes from Marvel. So both of those events went off pretty well, I think, and now we get to see what they do this year. So for Marvel this year, with the cover being a Ultimate Spider-Man team up with the Ultimate Avengers, my guess for what Marvel's big summer event is going to be a Thanos event, which is super cool and exciting if I'm right. Their Free Comic Book Day, again, it's the team up, but more importantly, at the end of the last Thanos run, the very final page says, Thanos will return summer 2024. So maybe we're all getting a big team up set up for this Avengers Spidey vs. Thanos storyline that will be Marvel's summer event. But obviously all speculation. We'll see when we get a little closer to time. DC, on the other hand, has kept everything very secretive about their Free Comic Book Day book. Without really giving away, they haven't given away a cover, they haven't given away any major plot points. However, I think it is safe to speculate that DC's big summer event is going to focus around Amanda Waller and her plan with the Suicide Squad to take out the metas of the universe, specifically the Teen Titans, as they are the marquee team in the DC universe right now in this Dawn of DC era that we're living in. I say this from some of the previews, which, by the way, beautiful Dan Mora art. Very exciting that they've got Dan Mora to do this. If this is their Free Comic Book Day book, be very exciting, because Dan Mora, in my opinion, he is the house artist for DC, and I think that his should be the house style, per se, across the line, because it's so sharp, it's so good, and honestly, all of the Dawn of DC books have really been hitting very well. So hopefully this over year-long build-up and payoff for Amanda Waller we will get in this Free Comic Book Day book. But let's go into them a little bit more. We're going to start with DC because DC's books aren't on the Free Comic Book Day website, and then we'll go through all the other ones in random order. So, yeah, let's get into the books. This is the exciting part. DC's other books they're putting out, we're getting Arkham Asylum. That's super fun, right? Yeah. Look at the little Joker. I don't know what the little guy is. But still, Arkham Asylum, DC's other Free Comic Book Day. Their final Free Comic Book Day offering is going to be Barda, which I guess is a graphic novel. So it's a preview of the graphic novel, which is super cool. I think that's a good way to get people funneled into buying other DC products, just having the preview. But yeah, when's the last time we had anything Barda? So, alright, something new, different character. It's free. Try it out. Give her a read. And finally, DC's Mad TV comic this year. I love that it's Superman, just like a Job 4. Crap, I'm already in my costume. What a fun cover. Everyone's always good to see some Superman nip. Yeah, alright, super fun. That's the Mad TV comic. Let's see the rest of them now. Next up for Marvel, we're getting Marvel's Blood Hunt preview, I guess. That could be the summer event, actually. Blood Hunt. I didn't even think about that when I was recording the intro until I saw this book. I'm going into this a little bit blind. But yes, Marvel's Blood Hunt could indeed be the summer event. But I don't know if that's going to be the whole event. Maybe they let it build a little bit more, and that's their October event. That would be really cool. But we'll see. Either way, Free Comic Book Day, we get a Marvel's Blood Hunt book. The next book we're getting for Free Comic Book Day, another really exciting book, is The Worlds of James Tyrion. This is going to be really awesome. I like this guy. He's done great work. I mean, Something is Killing the Children was great. The Woods, I hear, is pretty great. The whole Bone Orchard mythos, really great as well. And that's something I've been very much enjoying. So this will be a collection of some of his best works. so that'll be good to see. This will definitely be a book to pick up if you like this author, if you are just curious, and if you want to see something a little horrific. They do it really good. So this is an exciting book. I look forward to picking this one up. Next up, we have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book by IDW, Who is the Night Watcher? I have been wanting to get into the Turtles books for a while now, but I just haven't known when I jump on. And I just haven't taken the plunge yet. But it looks like this book is going to give us 2 short stories and also show where the IDW mainline comic is going to go. So maybe this is the time when I jump on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Next, we have the Energon universe, the Transformers universe, the big thing that Image is going to squeeze together between G.I. Joe and Void Rivals. This is a huge book. As it says, it will have a stunning revelation for the worlds of Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals. This is going to be a big, big book to pick up, I think. A lot of people are really excited, really liking Void Rivals, really liking the Transformers books. There's a lot of nostalgia there. G.I. Joe, they're pulling that in. Maybe this gives the G.I. Joe books a little bit of a bump. I don't even know if they have an ongoing series. That's how out of touch I am. But this is going to be a huge book. People are really excited for this big 3 IP crossover that everyone loves so much. So this will be one to really look out for. Very exciting on this Free Comic Book Day. Next up, from Dark Horse, we have Hellboy. Also featuring Netflix's Stranger Things. So I don't know if they're featured with Hellboy, if it is a backup story, but either way, should be pretty cool. I have always really enjoyed Hellboy. Some of the first comic book I've ever bought, aside from a few off the rack as a real small child, was Hellboy trade paperbacks. I loved the movies. This should be fun. I'll definitely be picking this up. But yes, Hellboy, Free Comic Book Day. Very excited. Up next, Johnny Quest gets a book. How exciting is that? Let's go Dynamite Publishing. So, we get a Johnny Quest comic. I grew up and I watched a lot of Johnny Quest. So, I'm going to pick this up out as nostalgia. I still think it's undeniable that Ace Bandit is just Mike Pence, but like the action hero, right? Do you guys see it? Look at a picture of Mike Pence. Look at a picture of Ace Bandit. Boom. They're the same people. You can see it in this picture. That's so wacky. Oh well, anyways, Johnny Quest Free Comic Book Day book. I'll definitely get this one. This will be a good one. Up next from Viz, let's go Viz, is going to be Pokemon Adventures, Ruby and Sapphire. I haven't played any of these games for a while. I'm more of a Gen 1, Gen 2 kind of guy, but always good to see Pokemon getting a book out. Good to see Viz getting a book out as someone who's heavy in the manga, but we'll talk about that more a little bit later down the list. Up next, here into some of the kids' books, which as someone who has a small children, this is really cool that they do that. My kids love to come with me to Free Comic Book Day, and they always get excited about these books. And we have Encanto, which is a great movie, and also Turning Red is the opposite. This is a double-sided comic book, half Encanto, half Turning Red. Always good. Love to see it. Good for the kiddos. Here we get Unicorn Crush, another fun little kids book. Here we get The Witches of Brooklyn, another free kids book. Also has some activities inside. I do love that a lot of the kids books have also like activities inside. I think the Spidey and His Amazing Friends from last year had masks that you could cut out and wear. Really fun. Always love to see that. Alright, those were all the gold comics, whatever that means. We're going to do the silvers a little differently. We're going to do these on this screen, so honestly it doesn't take me 80 hours to edit this video. So let's get into these. Alright, so we have a Cursed Library book coming up, which is exciting. People tend to really like the Cursed Library, the whole Archie horror thing. I think I'm going to pick this up and read it. It's interesting. I like the aesthetic of it, and as a horror fan, I'm kind of into it, but I don't know much else about it. But I'll pick it up. I'll pick up all these books because they're free. We have Asterix Olympus Special. I have no idea who this is, but if you're an Asterix fan, this is your year. Get out there, Free Comic Book Day. Next we have another free kids book, always good. Celebrate a decade of Boom Box, whimsy and fun. So this is a collection of Boombox publishing stories. I've never heard of Boombox, but hey, it's free. Up next, we have Conan Battle Blackstone. This is going to be awesome. This will probably be a super violent Conan being a man, chopping off beasts' heads and things kind of a book. So if you're into that, Probably pick this one up. From American Mythology Productions, we got Curseverse. I'm not sure what this is, so I guess it is the dawn of the Curseverse, though, which is pretty cool. I suppose this is already a thing, as it's going to be a collection of issues that have already happened, but it'll be interesting to see the American Mythology production. Is this just like American mythos, but like they're the superheroes? That's pretty cool. That interests me. So keep an eye out for Curseverse. For all you Doctor Who fans out there, which isn't me, but you can join the 15th Doctor in a new comic book adventure, and it's free. Then we have a interesting one, Dying Inside, by the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. That's kind of cool. So I like the aesthetic of the cover. Definitely has a little bit of a manga vibe, no doubt, but probably some supernatural stuff, it looks like, with the whole sword and the little symbol, but we'll see. This should be an interesting pickup, especially if you're into this aesthetic. Alright, this next one's exciting. We get I Lie Popeye #1. So we're getting a brand new Popeye comic. I am 100% putting this on my pull list. Look at it. I love he just coming down with a smash. Again, a little bit of, you can see the manga influence aesthetic, while this definitely still looks very American in the drawing. But as far as the crashing on the ground, Superman does this as well. It's across a lot of things. This is going to be awesome. I can't even wait. Oh, it even says manga-inspired monthly comic series. Oh, gosh. I am so in on this. This is going to be awesome. I don't even care what else is left. This is my must-have pickup of Free Comic Book Day. Is going to be I Lie Popeye and the new Popeye series. Get this #1. It's going to be worth millions in like a month after this comic takes off. Here next is a fun title. It's a combination of Atlas Comics, which is really fun. If you don't know, Atlas was a small publishing company that was, they were big for a little while, and then they only lasted from 1950 to 1957. They shut down, but their impact on the comic book landscape was pretty big. So this will be a fun walk back in time. We have The Loud House, special, fun. We have Maleficent #1. I don't know if this has already been released or not, but if it hasn't, this is exciting that we get to pick up the first issue for free. And if it's already been released, then this will be fun for people that didn't get it the first time. And maybe it'll push some people to seek out those back issues and enjoy their Maleficent run. Marvel Voices, always fun, always a fun comic. Shines some light on some characters that may not get the spotlight, although I will be getting it because, I get Miles Morales, and he's like one of my favorite superheroes in general. So, be fun, get some Spider-Gwen action, big fan of Spider-Gwen, all the spiders, and then it'll be fun to see Moon Girl out there doing some things. I've only ever seen her in the Disney series Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, so yeah. Fun to read her in a comic. But yeah, Marvel Voices, 2024. Alright, next Free Comic Book Day we get Monster High. So if you have children or if they're into this, you'll probably pick it up. If not, probably won't. Alright, up next, The Night Librarian. Night at the Museum meets the Land of Stories in a thrilling new graphic novel. So this seems like it'd be really good for your preteens. So if you have older kids, this could be a fun kind of adventure comic graphic novel for them to go on. Here it is, Goat Piece. Anyways, One Piece Ace's story, the experience, the manga that was already released is going to come and be printed. Very cool. Again, another great gift from Viz. As a One Piece enjoyer there, I will say I actually don't love the art style in this very much, and I haven't read it because I don't want to read spin-offs of anything One Piece because I don't want it to maybe not be canon and ruin the whole experience for me. So I'm a purist in that sense. But if you want to check out One Piece and get a feel for maybe some of the characters, this probably will do it for you. Alright, we get the Overstreet Guide to Collecting Comics, as usual. Always fun, cool Santa cover. It's fun to pick this up and browse through it, if nothing else. This is a interesting thing, the price guide, kind of see where your value stands, because the market has been fluctuating quite a bit, especially through 2020, and I got into it after that. It's still, you can see the changes, so it'll be cool to see this snapshot in time of the guide and price for collecting comics in 2024. Alright, next we get Romeo vs. Juliet, Kill Shakespeare. Kind of fun. this might be a fun little comic to read. You know, Romeo versus Juliet. They're not together. Who knows what this is about? That's wacky. All right, Snoopy 2024 Beagle Scout Adventures. How fun. We get another Spidey and His Amazing Friends kids comic. This is a hot one, definitely. We get a Star Wars #1. I don't know if this is a new series. I don't know if this has a reprint of an ongoing. I am out of touch with the Star Wars comics, but I will pick this Marvel book up. All right, next we get Far Cry Cull the Herd #1. So I have not really played the Far Cry games, and I don't know the lore enough on this one, but just the description, I guess it's pulling villains from the Far Cry games and putting them in a prehistoric world and seeing what happens. So could be kind of cool. If you're into the Far Cry lore, I would assume this would be a must-have. Flash Gordon #0. Are we getting an ongoing Flash Gordon series? What? Mad Cave Studios, you've gone mad! This should be fun. A lot of nostalgia here, especially if you watched Flash Gordon, which I have not. I am a osmosis enjoyer of Flash Gordon, but I love the whole intro theme song. It's pretty dope. I can see the nostalgia. This is really cool, and I think that this Gannibal it sets a really fun trend here in American comics, and especially for small publishers. So Ablaze, so this is actually a really established horror manga already. Now, what Ablaze is doing is they're bringing this and going to print it monthly for an American audience. So pretty much just translated. I bet it still reads backwards, so it's basically printing monthly manga chapters in English comics. That's really cool, and that could really take off. Like, imagine if a company, Dynamite, got the rights to publish One Piece, but just the manga version, but in English, but you get it in this big fun comic form. Like, that's selling. So I think that this is really interesting on a lot of levels, and of course I'm going to pick it up because y'all know I like manga. Gotcha Man, #0. The Triumphant Return of Gotcha Man, iconic Japanese animated franchise. I don't know really anything about these other than I've seen their look before. Quite the aesthetic, by the way. I like it. Very Voltron-esque, but like birds instead of cats. So that's cool. So we get even more manga-inspired releases this year, which is really cool. And again, we can trend this out, and I think that there's more this year than there was last year, and I would assume the year before that. So anyways, this is going to feature 2 stories. It's going to feature Initial D and Kayana and the Great Snow Sea. Pretty fun, good manga. If you're ever curious about manga, Initial D, I hear, is pretty good, so maybe check this out. Another children's book, Investigators. Oh, it's such a cute name. It's a cute book. If you have kids, they should like this. Mine love it. Alright, Katie Catsitter and Max Meow mashup #1. Oh my gosh. This is the crossover event of the year. We have a Young Jedi Adventures and a Plants vs. Zombie comic. Kind of fun. Street Fighter vs. Final Fight #1. I've never played or heard of Final Fight, so this is to me Street Fighter versus nobodies. And the Valorants. Fun. I guess Valorant has a bunch of different heroes in its own universe, and this is like them coming together, maybe. I'm not sure. Alright, we get Tons of Strange, a Strange Tales type book. This is kind of fun. I do like the Strange Tales. It has that aesthetic, but it seems like it might be more for kids, but still, this is interesting. We have Unico Awakening, another children's book, if you like unicorns. But it's also a manga, so it kind of experiences the young generation of readers to manga. So this is really smart marketing. Again, how we want comics to appeal to a younger audience, because we're going to need to have more fans and collectors and hobbyists in comics. So attracting them young is really good. You want to get them in shops. Just like you start any love for something young. Not that we should indoctrinate the youth for comics. But anyways, you know what I mean. It's cool that they're exposed to manga early as well, as manga is popular right now, but it also is coming through a free comic book day from Scholastic. So very interesting trends we're seeing here. I think we're going to do maybe a whole video on the trends of manga inclusions on free comic book days. We'll have to go back and do some research. And our final, Ultra Duck. this is cool. Is this in the same universe as Darkwing Duck? That would be kind of cool. A Darkwing Duck shared Heroverse. But is Ultra Duck that thing? It seems like it's Superman, but who knows? So I might pick this up just because I need to answer those own questions that I have. And that's it. That's Free Comic Book Day. Let's get out there, get some awesome books, maybe find something new we like, and relive some nostalgia. You guys, I hope you enjoy it. Be safe. I'll see you in the next one.